35. Amsterdam Belgesel Film Festivali Kasım 2022 Namı diğer İTFA. Afişlerimizi sinemacı arkadaşımız Çiğdem Mater için açıyoruz. Gezi direnişi üzerine bir belgesel çekmeyi düşünmekten 18 yıl hapis cezasına çarptırılan yapımcı arkadaşımız ve diğer tüm gezi tutsakları için.
Zulme boyun eğmeyeceğiz. Zulme karşı direneceğiz.
Çiğdem'in İTFA takipçilerine gönderdiği mektupta dediği gibi, çekilmemiş, sadece düşünülmüş bir filmin bedeli 18 yıl hapis. Ama yine Çiğdem'den alıntılarsak, bugünün dünyasında bu şaşırtıcı bir şey de değil. Risk altındaki sinemacılar paneli öncesi Amerikalı belgeselci Laura Poitras ve Mısırlı yapımcı Muataz Abdelvahab da afiş taşıyorlar. Her ikisi de kendi ülkelerinde devlet baskısına maruz kalmış. Poitras Irak'ta çekim yaptığı için terörist izleme listesine alınmış, Abdelvahab Mısır'da hapis yatmış. Festival boyunca gezi tutsakları Çiğdem Mater ve Mine Özerden için etiketleme yapıyoruz. Bir diğer tutuklu sinemacı Erhan Örs'ü de unutmayarak. Sonraki gün Çiğdem'in yapımcılığını yaptığı 2 kısa filmi Amsterdam Goethe Enstitüsü'nde gösteriyoruz. Adrian Figueroa bu filmleri çektiğinde Çiğdem özgürdü. Filmler hapisteki Osman Kavala'ya adanmıştı.
Sevgili Osman abi, seni çok özledik. Keşke elimden daha iyisi gelse. Keşke elimizden başka şeyler gelse. Seninle ilgili dosyaları okurken çıldırıyorum. Aklımı fikrimi sakinleştiremiyorum. Bu memlekette hep rezildi ya adalet, bu kadar da olmaz derken bizi yine şaşırtmayı başaracak kadar rezilleşebiliyor. Dibi yok mudur nedir bu bataklığın?
The case goes all the way back to 2017 when Osman Kavala, who is an arts and culture funder, a pro-European voice, and the head of Turkey's most important NGO, was jailed for allegedly organizing the anti-government Gezi protests that took place in Turkey in 2013. The protests were against the demolishment of a public park in center Istanbul. Osman has been in prison since the last 5 years, and last April, 6 others, including Çiğdem, got imprisoned. Can Atalay, Mücella Yapıcı, Mine Özerden, Hakan Altınay, Tayfun Kahraman, and Çiğdem Mater. 6 in total. Osman is now in prison for life, the others for 18 years.
I'm also a friend of Çiğdem and others too, Can Atalay, Mücella Yapıcı, Tayfun Kahraman, who have been very active in the process of demolition of another space, urban space, Emek Movie Theater. Cinema is not just making of it, but also showing, screening, and so they are, in a way, also fought for cinema.
Through Anadolu Kultur, I told them that I'm thinking about making a film, and then they suggested that I should meet Çiğdem Mater, and basically the film only started when I met her, because she was working so closely with me. She was creatively producing the film so much, and she made things happen, and through her network and also her understanding about film, we could do this.
And one thing that touched me, which I want to actually throw out to somebody who's in the room, is that the dates, of course.
28 Ocak 2019. Geçenlerde bir test için Silivri Devlet Hastanesi'ne sevkim yapılmıştı. Hastanede cezaevinden gelenler suçlarına göre ayrı yerlerde bekletiliyor. Bana FETÖ mü diye sordular. Hayır, Gezi diye cevap verince adlilerin beklediği odaya yolladılar.
It threw me back to those dates and what we were feeling like during those days. And I wondered whether Yiğit might want to say anything about that, because I'm also curious about
you were actually accused of non-violent action. So if non-violent action is a crime, then what can people do?
Correct. They accused us with the penal code number 312, which is trying to overthrow the government by force and violence. Çiğdem contributed to that by thinking about the movie, and I contributed to that by spreading non-violent activism. So there's no evidence, nothing to hold the case, but yes, that's part of the farce that we are living through. I just want to say or add context to the whole thing is that we have a duty here in the Netherlands as well to remind to the Dutch government, to the German government, and to all the European governments that they are part of this. They are part of this by signing the Turkey deal with Erdogan's authoritarian regime, just because they are fearing 4.5 million Syrian refugees to fled here. And therefore, we have to remind them, hopefully on a daily basis, that they are part of this crime as well.
Uzun metraj film yarışması, Cahide Sonko ödülü, Kurak Günler, Çiğdem Mater.
Çiğdem Mater, Kurak Günler.
Mine Özer'den ve diğer gezi tutsaklarıyla beraber haksız şekilde cezaevindeler. En kısa zamanda festivallerde, sinema salonlarında tekrar yan yana olmayı, beraber film yapmayı umut ediyoruz.
Onlar içeride ve ben hep Mücella'ydı, Çiğdem'de, Mine'de gülüşleriyle hatırlıyorum. Onlar içeriden gülüyorlar. Bizi de ayakta tutan onların gülüşleri ve biz de burada direnişe devam edeceğiz.
Dearest ITFA team and festival goers, I write to you from a women's prison in the heart of Istanbul. We don't get much of a chance to watch films in this jail, where women from all corners of the world are being held. And as you can guess, each woman is a story unto herself, a film. That I write to you from a prison instead of watching films with you today in Amsterdam is a whole other story. If it were a documentary, you'd say, no way. I've been sentenced to 18 years in prison for thinking about making a film regarding the 2013 Gezi Park protests in Turkey. You heard that right. There is no actual film, just the thought of it. When you look at today's world, it's actually not that shocking. From Tehran to Budapest, Kiev, Moscow, Kabul, and refugee camps, our stories, our circumstances are quite similar. At a time when racism and discrimination is on the rise worldwide, we find the strength to still make films despite all the evil. I guess that's thanks to filmmaker colleagues who stubbornly continue to tell their stories, and our incredible solidarity, which knows no borders. Your voice and support is overcoming grey prison walls and barbed wires to reach the Bakırköy jail. I'm sure those filmmakers imprisoned in other cities across the world or continuing their underground resistance are also hearing your voice. Sending you my love and thanks as I dream of the days we can talk about only films. Çiğdem Mater, 4th of November 2022, Bakırköy.